This is my new coffee kit, and I'm going to make what I call Bandana coffee with this. This is a new fire hazard stove, and I think you'll get a kick out of this. Maybe not. Now the trouble with cowboy coffee is you have to, as I've been reading, I'm certainly no expert on it, is that you have to let the coffee cool before the coffee grounds will settle. So you end up with coffee with a few grounds in it that is a little bit cool. And people seem to have a real problem with that. I think I might have a problem with it too. Don't need a lot of water for coffee. I'm going to put a little, probably 6 or 7 ounces in here. That should be enough for a good cup of coffee. And we're going to need some fuel, so we'll fuel up the stove. Put about a ½ an ounce in, I think. There we go. Should be ready to rock and roll now. That on there, put my lid on, and we'll light her up, and when she comes to a boil, we'll turn the camera back on. Now once I get my boiling water and get my coffee brewed, I'm going to dump it in this. So while I'm waiting, I'm going to put my coffee creamer and my sugar in here, so when I get ready I'll be all set. Biggest problem I've had so far is waiting for it to cool down before I could drink it. That's probably hot enough for coffee there, but I'm going to bring it to a full boil because it's going to take a while before I dump it over and it'll have to cool some. Okay, I think everybody can see that that's boiling. So we'll take this off the flame, lid on here, and put it out. Slide that back out of the way. Now, I've got my cream and everything in there already. Now, this has been used for quite a bit of coffee, so it's rather badly stained, but that's the only thing it's used for, so that shouldn't be a problem. Now I'm going to take this boiling water and I'm going to put my coffee in. And I'm going to let that brew for a little while. Got a little bit more water in here than I should have, but anyway. I found that if you don't let it brew for a while, your coffee may not be as strong as you want it. So I'm going to let that brew for a little while. We'll turn the camera back on in a couple of minutes. Okay, that's been a couple of minutes. So let's take this and dump this over, grounds and all. And when we get done, there'll be no grounds in the coffee. They'll all be in this bandana. Put that right back in the pot. Stir her up a little bit. And there you have a good strong cup of coffee. Yeah, out on the trail. Good and hot. No grounds. And when you get all done, you can take this, and there's two things you can do with it. You can either shake it out on the snow, or you can leave it in there next time you make a cup of coffee, pour your coffee through it again and get an extra strong cup of coffee. You'd be amazed how much stronger it'll be. So that's my spin on coffee when we're out backpacking. I think it's probably as easy as any method I've seen so far. The cozy around this keeps your hands from getting hot. The coffee doesn't have any grounds in it. It's pretty good cup of coffee. Pretty close to what I'd make in the house. You have to use a little bit more coffee, I think, than you would at home. It doesn't quite get as much of the coffee out of it, but if you strain it through the grounds a second time, get a good stiff cup of coffee. Now, some people would have an aversion to making coffee in a beer can, but, you know, the BPA is probably going to kill you way before the germs do anyway, so. I'm Tinny from Minibulldesign. Get out and hike, and more important than anything, have a great cup of coffee. Have a great day. Bye-bye.